I like having these multiple layers on the thing here,
Mm.
so I can just like block our faces out anytime that somebody's doing something that I think is funny, and I need to cover my face for a moment and not shit my pants laughing.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're
We're
live
not.
on Twitch, just not
Yeah,
Spreaker
I'll
yet.
let you know before we go live on Spreaker.
All right, let
Okay.
me.
Um, do we have like a time of how long this is going to be?
It'll go about
Uh,
an hour.
yeah, just until the
All right.
show's over. I mean, if it starts lingering on,
Yeah, we'll cut it off. But
yeah, we'll fix it. But
Yeah, because I got
um,
about an hour of peacefulness, and then the yelling starts again.
okay.
oh, okay, got you.
All right.
Pretty much got it to where just like as soon as we move on to the next topic, I can pull up a trailer and throw the video up.
All right.
If you'd like to see a test, check this out.
Dude, what the hell is going on with Twitch right now?
Check out Twitch, see if the I think it's all working. I've got it just playing a Metal Gear trailer right now.
Okay, I just see a logo as of right now.
Yeah, there's a
Yeah.
delay.
Yeah, give it a sec. Should catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, now I got it.
Right? Cool.
That's pretty sweet.
I can just toggle it, and then I can turn off YouTube, and then you'll find another video, pull it up.
Huh.
Are we gonna be like welcoming
Fan-
people to the stream or not?
Fancy. Uh, well, do you want to welcome yourself?
We don't usually welcome people to stream, but it's kind of weird to our Sprecher viewers if they're like, "Oh, who the hell are they talking to?" when they say "welcome so and so."
Yeah, don't. No, we're not doing that.
That's a shame thing. That's what I was asking if you guys did it.
Now, this is a podcast. We don't interact with our Twitch audience while we're doing this. We just are also bringing it to Twitch so people can hop in and watch it.
Yeah, see our faces, and we can, tell people to come watch us on Twitch. But
Yep.
all right, I'm ready if everyone else is ready.
All right. Be live in 10 seconds.
That hat indoors though.
What's up, guys? Welcome to episode 49 of the Gamer Bros. Thanks for joining us this fine evening. I've got Avulf, Garrett, Bones, and myself, Jester, streaming live for your listening pleasure. Tonight, we've got a laundry list of things to discuss. We've got a lot of updates that hit this week, new games, updates, patches, etc., etc. Lots of fun, exciting things to talk about. So stay here, listen, enjoy the show, and thanks again for listening. First thing that hit this week was the PS4 update. Dropped actually, I think, last night, and it's it's pretty extensive. Sony's finally delivered on a lot of the things that they said they were going to deliver on back in 2014, I think, when they had their E3 conference, or was it 2013?
It
2013,
was
14.
2013.
Yeah, so it's 2013, and they previewed a lot of cool stuff that we've been waiting on patiently, and for the most part, a lot of it's here. So, they've let's see, what have they released in this current patch? I know that PlayStation Now is is now available. They've also got the whole deal where you can stop a game mid-play, put your PlayStation in rest mode, turn your PlayStation back on, go back to that game, and it should continue right where you stopped from. So you don't have to worry about saves or anything like that. You've got somewhere pressing to go, and something happens when your PS4 goes in rest mode, you should be cool to go. And there's just a shit ton of stuff that hit on this patch.
Yeah, one of the things that I think is actually pretty cool that they added was the fact that you can now use thumb drives as external drives, which just you can transfer all your save data from system to system. Say you go to your buddy's house and you just want to chill out, it's Skyrim or some shit, just pull up your save file if you've got, a shit ton of hours thrown into something and get really developed characters. Borderlands, I know, would be like one of the titles that would be awesome to be able to do that with. You're just going to your buddy's house and you got a couple of maxed out characters and you just want to go looting.
Yeah, and to me, it's almost like they're kind of like skewing the line between console and PC, because that's a very PC thing to do, to transfer files and bring files with you to, have access to that in other places, where the consoles, for the most part, except for when the PS3 had Linux as an operating system on it, they're pretty locked down. Like,
Yeah.
what you have on your console is what you have on your console, and so help you God if that console goes to shit. If it's not saved online or in the cloud somewhere, it was on that console itself,
Oh,
sorry.
yeah. It is landlocked.
Yeah.
I
So,
want to bring up like the coolest feature that I think from this entire update is that you can now upload video clips to Dailymotion. For the longest time, it was just you could upload, you had the share button. Everybody saw that initially. They're like, holy shit, that's awesome. I can become a YouTuber, or I can just get easily accessible stuff to my channel or whatever without having to have a cap card and all this other hardware, software, all this extensive shit. But now you can upload your clips directly to Dailymotion, which is actually a pretty decent like video site. It's not YouTube by any means, but it's still a really good site. It's probably the next best thing to YouTube. It's better than
YouTube.
Break.com because they don't have snuff films there, I don't think.
right. And it's YouTube without all the bullshit that goes along with YouTube.
Yeah, you don't have all the super enforced like copyright infringement and all that goofy shit. I don't know
And
how
they-
I don't know how you would throw copyright infringement onto Dailymotion via the capture program built into PS4 unless you considered like some game content. But yeah, it's pretty solid. I like it.
Yeah. And it said that you can now use your trackpad or the touchpad on the PS4 controller to control playback of videos on discs. So
Oh, that's
you can
that's
use-
nice. That's nice.
Yeah. So instead of trying to use the analog sticks and trying to scroll right or scroll left to get it to go backwards, but you did too many turns or whatever, you went from 10 times backwards to 120 times backwards. It just gets really aggravating.
Goofy steering wheel motion with the joysticks. That was always fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love that shit.
So for the most part, I mean, it's a pretty big update. PlayStation Now is probably the biggest thing that hit. I'm not familiar with what the pricing options are going to be on that. I still think they're kind of hidden, like not really been announced. I know at some point they were throwing around like $30 a month. And if you're not
Yeah.
familiar with what PlayStation Now is, essentially it's Sony's version of like a GameFly account back in the day where you could stream games to your computer. Now you can stream like PlayStation 2 or PlayStation 3 games to your PlayStation for free as long as you're paying for the subscription. Or maybe it was like a per game price that they were throwing around. Either way, I mean, if it's $30 or if it's like $5 a game, to me that's kind of too expensive for an older generation's titles. It'll take them a while, in my opinion, to find the equilibrium point and get that to go in the way they want it to.
Yeah, it's one of the things, like, whenever we first found out about PlayStation Now, everybody looked at it and we were like, okay, cool idea, and then we saw the pricing, and, I doubt they're listening to us, but we had a lot of backlash for them because we didn't think that was, reasonable at all. For, what was it? It was like $7 for a day or some shit for some of these, like, really old games. It's like, I can go buy the game for $3, and I can probably get the old console for, like, 20.
Yeah, I mean, it was retarded. And I know right now they were just talking about PS3 games. Like PS1 and PS2 games are not even on the list of playable games to be launched on PlayStation Now. That was going to be a later deal that they did. And I still haven't heard any mention of them dropping that or dropping those listed titles into PlayStation Now just yet.
Yeah. And, what was it? One of the things that like makes me think they're being so secretive about the pricing at this point is I feel like they're almost waiting for somebody else to do it first, just to see. Like, they don't want to be the first guys to break into the market and be like, yo, it's $30 an hour, and then everybody else is like, shit, we'll do it for 10. And then them be
Right.
the assholes out of the equation, because I mean, Nvidia's kind of got the same thing planned with the whole grid system.
Yeah.
Like, you're gonna pay a monthly subscription. You're probably gonna pay a little bit more on top of that for individual titles. Like, say a new game comes out that's AAA, like hit of the year or some shit. They're probably gonna charge you a little bit extra for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're just kind of playing it by ear, because to be honest, in the console race, Sony is so far ahead right now that they can just do that. They don't need to do
They have
anything
some-
groundbreaking.
Yeah, they got some
Already,
pretty-
yeah, they've already broken ground.
I mean, they tripled or quadrupled Xbox One sales in the
Oh,
same.
Well,
Yeah.
just looking at the hardware alone, like not even looking at the sales numbers, just the specs for that system is so far above the competition that it's not really even fair. I think the only thing it compares to it is maybe some of the Steam boxes.
Yeah, and especially when it came out, like when all these new generation consoles first came out, it was cheaper.
Yeah, the big pain in the ass.
Huge pain in the ass.
Yeah, it seems like they've added a lot of good stuff though, just in general to it. It's not necessarily mind-blowing things, but it's a lot of stuff that had to happen. I think the Daily Motion thing is the coolest thing out of this entire bit, because I hated trying to upload shit to Facebook. That was just
Oh
not fun. That was not a good idea to me. I thought it was just a pain in the ass that you were limited to just Facebook. Because anybody that's actually capturing content on there, they're not trying to put it on Facebook. They're trying to put it on a YouTube channel. They don't care if their fucking aunt sees it or something.
Yeah.
Even Twitter might be a bit better.
That's what I'm saying.
Twitter's definitely more accessible, and it's.
Oh yeah, it appeals to the younger crowd a hell of a lot more. I mean, Facebook at this point is kind of it's getting old.
Are you trying to say I'm old?
Hey, I've got a
I
Facebook
heard-
too.
I heard
We all
what you
got
said.
Facebook.
No,
I hear
the only reason
everything
you
you
have
say.
the only reason you have a Facebook, Austin, is because I was like, get on fucking Facebook. Jesus.
We
need-
forced you into it.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad about it. All right,
What do
so
we
moving
got
on.
deck here.
New DLC for Evolve. They're releasing new hunters. Evolve has been a mixed bag of results from everything that I've read and seen and heard from. And they're basically trying to do anything and everything to keep people involved in the game, and I think it's performed about as well as I thought it was going to perform. It seemed like a very singular type
Oh,
of
yeah.
one level game.
It's
got
one dimensional as shit. It's
Yeah. So, to me, being the ADD gamer that I am, I knew that I would probably like the game for the first hour to 2 hours that I played it, and then I'd be bored of it. And that's why I didn't put any money on it. And I think that's probably why none of us put any money down on it.
Yeah, but
it's from the creators of Left 4 Dead. So I mean, they've used this dynamic before, and it worked out really well. I mean, Left 4 Dead's one of the most popular co-op games that's ever been made. And I think maybe people just got sick of the one-dimensional aspect of that. It's kind of like me with Dead Rising. Like, I played the first one, it was cool as shit, but after that I was just like, do I really want to pay for the same game just with slightly different stuff in it?
Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, and I think at some point I heard that they're going to. Was it this game that all the DLC is going to be? No, that was Assassin's Creed. That all the DLC that they're going to release for that game is going to be free because it's such a failed launch. But I think if you purchased the huge bundle that this game came with, you got a whole shit ton of additional content. And I don't know that it included the DLC or not, but they were selling that for a reduced price. For whatever the price of the original game was, you could get all sorts of other stuff for $60 as well. So
Yeah.
It looks like they're introducing Torvald, the assault guy. He has an auto shotgun. Crow, the trapper, so he's probably going to be more of your hunter style, where lays booby traps and things like that to capture whoever the person is playing is the monster. And you have Sunny's your support character. And you got Slim the medic. So I mean that's your basic archetypes for any
Yeah,
like RPG style or whatever. I mean,
yeah. I think it's a good move. It adds variety to it. It gives people a reason to keep playing it. I mean, if it hits $30, I'll probably even buy it just because I thought it looked like a cool game from the beginning. It
Yeah.
it fits a lot of the stuff that we like to play, like co-op. I know we're big fans just because of probably Borderlands that dragged us into that.
What
You
I
know,
would
it's
like to see from the whole Evolve thing is I like how they're introducing the new hunters because like what I'd like to see is being a like varying play styles where if you wanted to play aggressive you could play aggressive or if you wanted to play stealth you could actually do that, you know?
yeah. It's so much better to have just this group of different types. I mean, you pretty much build your co-op team around the available types as opposed to just everybody's a soldier. You can get like
Yeah.
a marksman. I mean, it's the same dynamic with pretty much any MMO too. You've got the healer type, DPS.
Yeah, like as of right now, you kind of like to even win the game, you have to stick as a group as the hunters. And I feel like if they could get some characters out there and actually doing kind of their own thing, but still helping the team, the game would be a lot better because it'd be more immersive.
Yeah, if you had like a scout like flanker type, that would be pretty awesome. Like the ambush type character or something. Which I'm sure there's a lot of people that have adapted a character to do that, but they don't have one specifically set to do that. I don't think.
Yeah, and I just if they had those varying game types and actually be able to play the game at your own play style, then I feel like it'd be so much more successful.
Yeah,
I think so. Like, I still want to give it. I still want to play it because I think it'll be fun for like that 2 hour time period I was talking about. Um, yeah, I don't know. Give it a
yeah.
shot.
I'd say it's definitely worth a shot. I don't know if it's worth the full $60 price tag worth of a shot, but worth a shot.
Yeah.
It seems
Moving.
like it seems like they are dedicated to adding more content though. Basically, is the thing to take away from that. They're trying to make it more interesting.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
this is an IP, so they have to.
Oh yeah,
Otherwise,
they've already dumped a whole lot of money into this thing.
yeah. Otherwise, they're just going to let it die and be
Yeah,
a failure.
in advertising alone, I'd say they lost money at this point
Hmm.
because I think this was one of the hardest push titles as far as marketing went.
This and Watch Dogs,
Yeah, Watch Dogs definitely.
and I think Ubisoft lost a shit ton of money on Watch Dogs.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
you
I
know
feel
they
like
did.
I
I'll
feel like
chime
a
in here.
lot of those.
And I'll
Huh?
say, yeah, I've always felt, yes, especially these days, marketers are the lowest form of life on the face of the planet next to politicians. I just cannot
Lobbyists.
stand them. They have one purpose, and that's to sell us shit, have us spend money on something that is not worth the money. They're scum. They have no idea about gaming, game development. All they know is fucking bottom dollar and trying to manipulate people into buying bullshit and then forcing their owners and their masters forcing dev teams to basically release crap that isn't ready to be released.
As our good friend Breach calls it, shovelware.
Pretty
Yep,
much.
an Infinity Ward.
Hmm. Just like let's get as much stuff out on the shelves. We'll market it. We'll try to make it look pretty, and we know it's shit, but we still need to turn a profit somewhere, in some form or fashion. So let's get it out, and we'll take care
Yeah,
of the rest.
Yeah, recently they've been like hitting the jackpot though, because a lot of these games that have been releasing have been total letdowns compared to what their game trailers and everything like that.
But
I think
yeah,
it's.
at
I
every
think we
single one
talked.
of them.
I think we talked about it before too. It's like part of the reason for the rise of the indie game lately. It's just because first off, you're not taking as big of a chance by dropping $20 on some early access game, and also it seems like they care more about the game succeeding than like AAA studios do at this point.
Yeah,
I'm
and
not
I
saying
think
it's not the same for every studio, but for a lot of them it really is just kind of let's cash out and then just take the money and run.
yeah, I feel like One thing I am disappointed as far as like game developers and stuff like that go is a lot of these huge AAA titles aren't meeting expectations. But then you have a lot of these really good game ideas, releasing on like Steam Greenlight or something like that, and they have these early access that you can buy, but this the early access you're stuck right there. They're not really making any forward progress, it seems.
Well,
Yeah.
Steam just recently came out and said that, like, if you're not making noticeable advancements in your alpha pre-alpha games, then we're gonna revoke your Steam membership. Like your game's gonna get booted because they're not like you were saying. There's a shit ton of games out there that are just stuck in pre-alpha and alpha phases, and they've charged people money to participate in these pre-alpha and alpha games, but there's nothing happening. And the developers get this little taste of money, and then they're like, well, we don't really
Yeah.
feel like working on this game anymore, and they just kind of let it sit there and stagnate while still paying, charging people $30 because it's not cheap to get an alpha or pre-alpha games. Like
No,
generally, it's $20
it's
to
not.
$30.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword too with that. It's like you're funding a studio who has the right mindset going into it, but also you can kind of change their psyche with the money they do make from it. Like Daisy, I think was one of the biggest examples of that. The standalone, like they just made so much from that shit. Actually, a better example is probably Star Citizen. I mean, they've
Oh
slowed
yeah.
down so much on production since they made, what was it, 50 something million dollars from Kickstarter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think they're hitting about 70 million now, which is
Yeah,
insane.
and that wasn't even early access. That was literally just Kickstarter. Like that's people didn't even play the game yet.
yeah, that was them just mentioning, hey, we're going to make this super advanced space RPG, not just open world, but open universe, where you'll be able to basically go be a bounty hunter or whatever you want to do. You can fly in a ship, you can get out of your ship, you can go into other ships, you can steal their cargo, you can get back into your ship. And then I watched that. Did you watch that video where it showed like the bullets hitting the ship and like how it acted? Like each bullet, like wherever it hits the ship, leaves a mark, and then eventually you can start like shooting wings off and
And
shooting
like
panels
shear
off.
shear a piece off of it, one bullet
You
at a
can,
time.
yeah, you can shear a piece of it off the ship, one bullet at a time. Like that's how detailed their graphics are going to be, which to me is
Yeah,
incredible. And for
yeah,
$70 million, it better be incredible. I
yeah.
mean, we're not going to.
Yeah,
You better be able to do that shit for $70 million.
Yeah, I
but like
mean,
I mean
even when
good.
that's
Star Citizen released like the new arena, even that was like kind of a letdown to the community just based on how it just looked basically like Elite Dangerous or any other game as of the sort.
yeah. And those games are already kind of out. This one doesn't even. I mean, this has like what garage mode where you can like walk around in a hangar or some shit and look at ships.
Yeah, I think
And
Star
all the
Citizen's
separate.
like actual like predicted release date is sometime in 2016. So it's not going to be this year. It's
Oh,
probably going to be either late next year or 2017,
I'm
based on
thinking
that announcement.
2000. Yeah, based on what they've already released of it, I'd say 2017, maybe even
Yeah.
2018, and happen.
Yeah, and not to mention they're going to want to include either the Oculus Rift or the Nvidia, um, whatever the Shield, their version, the Nvidia VR
Yeah,
headset that they just announced. I mean, that's going to be the next trend in gaming. Everyone's going to want to do a VR game where someone puts a headset on, and that's what it's going to be geared towards. Mark my words, games are going in that direction, and everyone's going to have a VR headset like everyone has a fucking normal headset nowadays. And I still don't know how I'm going to wear a VR headset and my headset.
they'll build the headphones into the thing.
Well, they should
Yeah.
already be planning for that.
See, that's
Is what I'm
not.
trying to say.
See, we should go into marketing.
The only
No,
issues.
no, we're just smart people that,
We can be public enemy number one for Garrett.
right? So,
Uh,
yeah, I agree. 2017, 2018, with them wanting to use Oculus or whatever else. And at that time, the processors in our computers should be able to handle um, those types of games, which is why NVIDIA announced the Titan X at the latest, what was it, 2 weeks ago? That
yeah,
conference you watched?
yeah, yeah. It was what the hell was that panel called? I guess it was just an Nvidia panel at E3 or something.
No, it wasn't E3. Hold on. I know
Was
it's.
it PAX?
No, no, no. It was GDC.
Oh, GDC. Shit, that's right.
Yeah, it was GDC. And what's funny, after they announced that, I was on the internet just dinking around, and I found that NVIDIA is actually going to release one next year called the Pascal GPU processor that is like 10 times faster than the Titan X12 that they're releasing. So
Yeah,
don't
I saw something about that.
yeah. So don't go blow your grand on the Titan X just yet. I would wait until 2016 and get whatever that Pascal GPU that they're offering is, because that thing looks ridiculous.
Yeah, it is pretty insane. Just the amount of power they're able to put in small pieces now is mind blowing.
It's all
Let's
that,
see.
it's all that graphene, bro.
Right? That high tech shit. Things are
That
getting
graphene.
fucky. Let's see, what do we got next here? Borderlands Handsome Collection Episode 2 Telltale?
No.
Well,
This is the Handsome
before
collection. Go
Oh,
ahead,
shit.
Garrett.
before we get off the VR, and someone said the Elite Dangerous was a letdown. I think it was a Vulse 182. It's actually not. That game is actually pretty amazing, and is still very much a competitor to Star Citizen, seeing as how Star Citizen has released nothing but videos, basically an area that you can pretty much just sit in and do nothing.
Yeah, empty promises.
And they're charging a bunch of people money, ridiculous amounts of money at that, for ships in game with zero or no product. And there's almost the perfect example of what I was talking about before of the whole marketing bullshit that we've been dealing with over the last 5 years or so.
Everything's a fucking hype game now. Like,
Yeah, pretty much.
we're gonna hype this game up and get people excited about it. You know what? I've
Yeah.
bought enough Call of Duty games now, after all the fucking hype, to to, to recognize bullshit when I see it. So now on, from now on, I'm not going to buy a game until it's out for at least a month, and someone that I know personally and this circle of people has played it and are like, you're going to fucking like this based on the games that I know that you like to play. Like, that's what buying games for me has come to, unless it's like a Steam sale and I can just pick something up for $5, because at that point, who gives a fuck? But AAA titles,
Yeah,
I'm not dropping $60 on anything.
I can't even remember the last AAA title that I actually bought. I think it may have been like Titanfall, and it was on sale for like $25 or something. And it was just because I had just gotten a PC. I was like, yeah, I
Mm.
wanted to play this shit because it was only on Xbox and PC. But yeah,
Yeah, last AAA title I bought was Dragon Age Inquisition, which is this really great game, but I haven't touched it in probably 2 months now, because
yeah,
it's
sounds
single
about
player.
right.
I like playing games with my friends, like single players, fun for a
Yeah,
limited amount of time. But yeah, but moving on, I agree, Garrett. Like, it, at least Elite Dangerous has dropped something.
yeah.
You know,
At least they have.
they've got a full game out, where Star Citizen, like we were talking, is probably going to be 2017 before we ever see that game in any form of release.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Elite Dangerous not only has something released, but it's almost fairly close to a complete game. There isn't like missions in the sense that people just aren't used to having the freedom that Elite Dangerous gives you. You have to go out and make your experience. Like, they're not going to hold your hand with a mission line or a quest line and tell you have to do these things to keep you entertained.
Yeah, I don't know if I just kind of missaid it, but I meant to say that as all the funding that Star Citizen has, that it's comparing to a game like Elite Dangerous, which has already been out. I love Elite Dangerous, like I played it and I absolutely loved it, but it's just I expected more from Star Citizen because of all that funding and effort
Ah,
put in.
so your disappointment's not with Elite Dangerous, it's with Star
Star
Citizen.
Citizen, yes.
Ah, sorry, Garrett was probably preoccupied when he heard you say that. Maybe a little bit, maybe a whole lot.
Maybe a dash, a tad, just a sprinkle.
Just a smidgen preoccupied. No, but
Yeah.
Star Citizen, Valkyrie, and Elite Dangerous are pretty much 3 games that are all in the same category. They have their little differences. In fact, I read an article comparing all three and the differences that they have. And right now, I think Elite Dangerous is way ahead of the game because they do have a game that's released. Valkyrie is a possibility because it's coming from Eve, and or CCP is the developer for Eve and Valkyrie, and then Star Citizen. Well, we just went through that. So Elite Dangerous, you're winning, and you'll probably win this race before it even starts.
Yeah, they've already got customer feedback too.
Yeah.
But let's go.
Moving on. Release this week, Borderlands Handsome Collection. So that's Borderlands 2, Borderlands 2, all of its DLC. So there was like 5 or 6 DLCs that dropped with that game, plus the pre-sequel, plus the pre-sequel's DLC. And it's a $60 title being released for PS4 and Xbox One. So everyone that wanted to see Borderlands 2 and all of its glory that don't have a PC and can't play it at high settings can now experience that on your console if you have a PS4 or Xbox One.
They're two completely, like, I'd say Borderlands 2 is definitely better than pre-sequel, but they're
leaps
both
and
still,
bounds.
Yeah, but they're both still really fucking good games.
Yeah. The story on Borderlands 2 and just the play through in general is probably the most fun I've had playing a video game with my friends in a long time. Like fun. Like there's fun, and then there's like CS:GO, which is fun but competitive, like want to
It's
break
fun, and then there's enjoyable.
yeah. Borderlands is enjoyable. CS:GO is fun.
Enjoyable.
Yeah.
Well, it is fun.
It's a lot of fun.
And the thing is, like, pre-sequel, like, it gets a lot of hate because it's not as good as the previous two games, but if you had never played Borderlands 1 or Borderlands 2 and just played pre-sequel, you'd be like, it's a pretty damn good game. I like this shit.
Yeah.
I
agree.
play Borderlands 2 and you'd be like, what the fuck?
You're like, God damn it.
Oh, man.
But yeah. So you're getting like 2 full games. Pre-sequel was just released last year, like October, November, around that time. And all their DLCs, I mean, you've got more than, if you do a full playthrough, 100% both games, probably 200 to 300 hours of stuff to do.
Oh, yeah. And that's just one playthrough.
Yeah, and the replayability factor for both of those games is just insane because each character is completely unique and different in what they do and the skills that they have and the way you can set them up. And there's like 72 levels per character, not to mention in Borderlands 2, with all of its DLC, you can actually go up to essentially level 80 because there's OP levels after level 72. So there's a lot of fun. And plus there's like, 16 billion combinations of weapons.
Oh, yeah.
With all the stat
procedural generation or whatever. It's just totally randomized. You probably you'll get similar ones once you start hitting, the kind of end of farming, but you'll keep finding ones that are just slightly better. And it's got New Game Plus and all that stuff, so you just keep on going just back and forth through it. I mean, new characters, you can do new playthroughs with the same characters. And whenever you level up to
4-player co-op.
Yeah, and what is it? Badass mode or
there's
Badass mode?
No, there's Vault Hunter mode and Ultimate Vault Hunter mode.
Yeah, and whenever you go
Badass points.
Yeah, whenever you go into Vault Hunter mode, everything scales with you, so you're not getting drops that are like, level 40 or some shit whenever you're already at like 60 something.
That's Ultimate Vault Hunter mode. And in Vault Hunter mode, it still is scaled for whatever the area you're in. In Ultimate Vault Hunter mode, that's when every enemy and every weapon that you see scales to you at that point. So it's your third playthrough is when that happens.
Yeah, and it scales above you too. In True Vault Hunter, like it's not a cakewalk. Like you can farm for a little bit in certain areas on the first playthrough, and then just kind of go in over leveled. But no, True Vault Hunter is like you're pretty much gonna have a pretty solid challenge no matter where you go.
It's a really good game.
Yeah, it is.
I said I'm not going to buy it, and I won't. but it's really tempting to buy it to play on the PS4 because it's a lot of fun to play with a controller. But I've already got it, both of them actually, on my computer, and I've got it for my PS3. So that would be and I've also bought it for like 3 people. So that'd be the 7th purchase of Borderlands 2 that I would have made at this point. If that's any indication of how good that game is,
it's a strong endorsement. Strong endorsement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many times I bought the first Borderlands on just. I think I sold it twice and bought it back twice because I kept making new DLC, and I was like, shit, I'm in.
All right. Moving on. Bloodborne was released Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
PS4 exclusive. You're not going to find that anywhere else.
Nope. And we've got a trailer for this.
Oh,
yes, we do. I don't know if you know this, but I've been playing them the whole time. I don't even know if you're watching.
I don't have Twitch pulled up, so.
Quick note about Bloodborne is made by From Software, who are historic. I've got a love-hate relationship with them because of the whole
I think everybody does.
The whole Chrome Hounds thing, just they stole my heart and then they destroyed it. No,
Chrome Hounds 2?
Oh, yeah,
man.
the game. So good.
I had so many people link just like troll videos of Chrome Hounds 2 to me. I was like, you son of a bitch.
the Chrome House 2 fake trailers.
Yeah. But no, Bloodborne, for anybody who doesn't know, is essentially the 4th iteration in the Demon Souls, Dark Souls series. It's got more of a Transylvania type feel than Dark Souls. Nice kind of sewery vampire look to it. It's just a really pretty game. I mean, I've been watching streams of it all day. It looks like they took everything that was good about Dark Souls 2 and just continued on with it. And while I haven't put the time into it to find out all of the super annoying shit down the road, I'd like to think that they kept in just enough to piss you off, but also to keep you going, just like they've done with Dark Souls 2, Demon Souls. Like, it's the main selling point is, well, initially it was that the game is just hard as shit, and it was like only the true like video game warrior would like take on the challenge of these games. But they've become pretty mainstream at this point. Like, they're just actually really well-made games. They're really fun. Although you will smash several controllers.
That's what I've heard. And in this game, one of the main differences, if you're interested in what's the difference between Dark Souls and Demon Souls and Bloodborne, whereas in Dark Souls and in Demon Souls, you get to carry around a shield, and you get to use different weighted items on your particular character, and you can adjust their stat points and things like that, and customize your character to do certain things, and also use magic. This game doesn't have any of that. There's no shield. You have a gun that you can kind of use to parry, but you can't adjust your character or build your character to fit like a heavy character mode or a light character mode. Like, everything is pretty much static as far as that goes. And you can't go back and respec your character. So once you start specking your character, that is the character you're going to play with until you finish the game.
Yeah, you're living and dying with that character.
Yeah. So it's not like Dark Souls 2 where you could go and be like, you know what, I'm going to respec my character and do this, or I'm going to make him a really heavy character, or I'm going to go with a fist-only character. Like, it is not that customizable. I think they're trying to get people more into the actual gameplay of the game as opposed to like trying to cheat the game or do challenges or whatever those people are doing.
Find workarounds and all that stuff. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think they were trying to not make it a game tailored for speedrunners like Dark Souls 2 kind of became. Like, I know it doesn't have a huge speedrunning community, but it's definitely speedrunnable. If that's a
If you know, if you know how to cheese it.
Now.
Speedrunnable. That sounds kind of fucky to me, but whatever.
That term, man, that's going right into the vernacular. Just fucky. Things are getting real fucky around here.
But yeah, dude. And one thing that they did change also is now that there's no ranged weapons, like you don't have fucking fire potions or whatever. You can't sit there and sit in the distance and cheat and shoot a boss with a poison arrow bow or poison bow and arrow over and over and over again.
Kill the dragon like 20 levels before you're supposed to, just because you've got a bow and arrow and you're an asshole.
Yeah, right. Like you can't do that in this game. It's meant to be a little bit more fast paced than the other games and more in your face. Like you're gonna have to, dink, dunk, and dodge.
Oh
And
yeah, it's relying way more on your ability to react to combat.
hmm
One of my favorite things about it is the graphics. I thought Dark Souls 2 was a really pretty game. I thought they did a great job with the graphics on this, but on Bloodborne, it is just like it's amazing. I don't know if you've seen like the full HD trailers and gameplay, but it is just awesome. I mean, it's gory as shit. The boss design is beautiful. They've got the Watchdog boss, which is pretty much just like a molten lava dog, and they went into so much detail in just every texture. There's everything that you see, even though it's beating your ass and making you cry, you stare at it and you're like, "Fuck, that looks nice." Yeah, it's just a clean looking animation. Also, the blood. Did I mention the blood? There's a lot of blood.
there's a lot of blood. I like the fact that you can still hop into other people's games if they invite you, as long as you find the
I forget
bell
what it is they use in this
summoners.
one. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
something
like a
like that.
little, looks like a
Yeah.
little, like a butler bell. Yeah, they definitely emphasized co-op slightly more for this one, which I think is a good idea because it like Dark Souls 2 is one of the most like depressing games whenever you would try to fight bosses without summoning people because you feel like it's just me versus the world. That game takes a lot out of you. And Bloodborne, I think they're trying to, make you not hate yourself and still enjoy the game at the same time.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I just if I do buy it, that's the game I might buy. I don't want fucking people invading my game. That's
You
what
will.
turned me off. Yeah, and it's fucking aggravating. Like you're in the middle of something, you're trying to accomplish whatever you're trying to accomplish, and all of a sudden your screen flashes red, lightning strikes, and you're like, "Son of a bitch, I'm
Ooh,
about to die."
invaded.
Yeah, it's
It's
like
the
it's just a
it,
matter of time.
it's so nice though whenever you're like, level 60 or 70 and then somebody invades and you're like, bring it on, bitch nuts. You just see them roll around
I
the corner. Like it used to be somebody would invade you and then they would just see you like running away, hiding behind the corners and just trying to do whatever the hell you could do to get an advantage. But when they come around the corner, they see you just like standing there, you're like, do this. Let's dance, honky.
I never got to level 60. I was at like level 15 to 20 every time someone would invade my game and kill me.
That's the danger zone.
That's when shit got fucky.
Yeah.
It got real fucky.
I came into that game with high hopes that I was going to be able to make it through, and I played it for like 2 hours. Like, yeah, fuck this.
Well, with your temper, I can own like your computer and your mouse and whatever else you were using that was in your general vicinity is probably thanking you that you only played it for 2 hours.
I never really got that mad. It was just like, this isn't fun. Yeah.
You didn't get to the point to where you would get mad.
Yeah. It's I don't know. I was like, I got to the first boss, and I was like, it was on Dark Souls 2 is what I played. I played Demon Souls, and I played Dark Souls 2. Is the boss on the top that bird guy where you have to go to the giant crossbows and shoot him with those giant crossbows on the roof?
Bird guy. I was thinking the bell tower gargoyles, but that's not what you're talking about.
No, this is he had two. There's two giant crossbows.
Oh
Anyway,
shit. What's his name? The something. He's like a big silver knight.
yeah,
Uh, no, it's not the Punisher. Summoner? No. No, it's the big flying silver knight looking dude.
it's
Yeah, I could never remember his name. I fought him like 30 times before I realized you're supposed to shoot him in the dick with a crossbow. You just like parry him, like he just does that little flying charge at you, parry his ass, and then just run to the crossbow, and then hopefully he doesn't bitch slap you with that big sword.
Yeah, once you learn how to, and I did okay with that, and I got close to killing him, and I was like, yeah, I could probably do this if I really wanted to stay at it for the next hour, but it's like it's not that much fun, so I just didn't.
Yeah,
I don't know, I might go back to it.
at certain points you just gotta call it quits because you're so demoralized playing that game, and you're just like losing all will to play it. It happens. It's still good though.
Yeah, it was a fun game. Like for what I played, I mean, it's a well-made game.
Yeah.
There wasn't anything about it that was frustrating, put it that way. In the sense, like, oh my god, the developers, what were they thinking? Or this game feels like it's half-assed. Like, this felt solid, just not my cup
No,
of tea.
it's one of those things like whenever you die, you know it's your fault. I think that's what I liked about it. It was like, I can beat this shit. I got this. That is gonna kill me. I'm gonna find that boss's name.
Okay, while you do that,
Do it.
moving on. Moving on.
The Pursuer.
Yes. What?
That's what it was. It was
The Pursuer?
The Pursuer.
Ah,
It came to me like right as I was typing in Dark Souls 2 Flying Night Boss.
what was that fucking application we used that found all those obscure bosses from Magic or those obscure cards from Magic and
Oh,
Demon
God,
Souls?
the Akinator.
Akinator. See, that's what we needed the Akinator for.
It's like a little genie, and it guessed like Quelaag from Dark Souls 1. I was like throwing in the most obscure shit I could. If you've never used that thing, it's amazing. It'll blow your mind. It is
It
wrong
will make-
sometimes, but you got to think of like some really out there shit to make it be like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, dude.
I
Yeah.
don't understand like how much made that put into it.
It's
Oh my!
it's one gigantic binary tree in terms of code. It just goes true or false down a huge tree of options.
It's
Yeah,
like a
it
mini
has-
Google.
No, it just mastered the art of 20 questions.
Oh yeah,
Absolutely mastered that art.
20 questions was groundbreaking too. That was a pretty cool little, held hand or handheld little Tamagotchi looking thing.
Mm. Moving on. Final Fantasy Typo was released last week. It's a PS Vita port. Supposed to be really good. I've heard some good things about it.
I don't know,
Um,
tactics kind of ruined me to that.
Well, yeah, I could see that. It's got a 74 on Metacritic, so that's better. It's an overall positive opinion.
Yeah, that's
So
not
if
too
you
bad.
if you need everything Final Fantasy, go pick it up. It's on Xbox One and PS4. It's supposed to be worth a damn. Next thing,
What?
Call of Duty World at War 2.
Dum dum dum.
What?
The C word.
Someone dropped
Hey.
the C word.
The C word.
You guys
has been
know we
dropped.
said before this episode we weren't going to drop the C word. We're going to go through an
We-
episode without dropping the damn
we
C
did.
word.
We did come to terms with mentioning it just for this, though. We're not
Correct.
We're not gonna circle jerk each other on the glory days.
The glory days. Is it long past?
So yes, so apparently somewhere in the interwebs there has been possible mention of Treyarch doing Call of Duty World at War II as their next title, their next addition to the Call of Duty lineup. Could be good.
I believe it was a Microsoft or an Xbox dev who dropped a picture on Twitter with two red, what appeared to be Roman numeral ones, which is kind of the like the symbol from the World War II image that somebody had posted or whatever.
Mm.
So it's, I don't know, there's just heavy hinting,
Speculation at this point.
very heavy speculation.
Yeah.
I always think of the
So-
word heavy petting whenever I hear that term, but yeah.
So what we're trying to say is stay tuned, and if anything else comes of this, we'll let you know. So yeah.
Yeah,
Next thing,
we'll keep you tapped.
yeah. PlanetSide 2 beta for PS4. is registering right now. So if you want to get in on that, it's
I believe it's a closed beta too.
yeah. So yeah, you have to. It's this. It's why they're asking you to register for it. So now is the time to do that. Um, it has both good and bad reviews on the PC, and the bad reviews, at least in this group, are Preston didn't have a whole bunch of fun. Avulsa and Garrett have both played it. They like it. It's definitely more of a team-oriented, open-world FPS.
What game are we talking about? Sorry.
Planet Side 2.
Side 2.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it was decent. I liked it. It got monotonous, but it was really cool.
Yeah,
Something you can't experience in any other game.
It's more just not my cup of tea, to be honest. It's not that it's a bad
Yeah.
game. I just didn't enjoy it.
Well, how many
If-
people per server? Was it 64 or 128?
It's
Oh,
a shit ton.
Are you
it's like
kidding me?
It's like 256 or something. It's,
Oh, shit.
No, no.
More, yeah, I'd say way more than
Basi-
that. I mean, you're in the thousands.
What it
Yeah.
is, it's like you have a US West server and a US East, for example. And so
Mhm.
just alone, you could have like probably around 2,000 people in a battle alone. Because averagely, I think they had about 10,000 people on one server.
yeah,
Mhm.
I remember getting my ass kicked by a new name every time I died.
Yeah, it's usually how it goes.
I mean-
Very rarely do you see the same person unless you're just beating on a point for about 4 to 5. I've sat on points for 4 to 5 hours, defending or attacking. And I mean, they'll, like Will said, it'll be 500-600 versus 500 or 600 or more, between infantry, aircraft, and war machines like tanks and things like that.
Yeah, like if you have ever played PlanetSide 2, especially with a lot of the new updates, they've really done some like good success on it as far as like small scale battles and really big battles. And I think that's why people enjoy it. It's just they've never experienced a battle with 1,000 people in it anywhere.
I think that
Yeah,
was
they've
one of the.
records.
I think it's one of the things that kind of drove me away from it. It was like even with Battlefield, I never liked like the full original Battlefield mode all that much, just because it feels like everything's out of hand. Like you can't really control it by yourself. Which PlanetSide 2, you definitely can't. Even as like a 10-man team, you probably can control a whole lot. You know, you might be able to hold like 1 point.
Well,
on a
if you're a commander, you
map.
can. That's one of the things I like about it too. Is a lot of people use the VoIP service in game. Everyone's active there. You've got, and it goes in ranks. Like you've got your commanders and generals who can speak over all platoons, and you got your platoon leaders who can speak to all the squads in their platoons, and you got your squad leaders that can speak to their squad members, and orders come down the rank. And the main guys, generals, and the platoon leaders are giving orders to our generals, and commanders are giving orders to the platoon leaders. Platoon leaders are giving orders to squad leaders, and so on. So if you're up in the high ranks, then you actually can have a major effect of the outcome and control a lot.
Yeah,
But
like,
as
if
a
you play
foot
that
soldier,
game-
not so much.
Sorry, but like if you play that game and you learn to just hop into a platoon and just be able to listen to somebody or command somebody, then the game is very enjoyable.
Yeah, if you didn't do that when you played, then you missed out on what PlanetSide was. And I'm not
So-
surprised that you hate it.
So, well, PlanetSide 2 is a free-to-play. So
Yes.
sign up for the beta. Preston, I'll sign up for it if you sign up for it, because I never got a chance to experience it.
I prefer to play it on console.
Well, let's sign up for it. Let's get on the closed beta. We'll get these other assholes to sign up for it because they have PS4s too. And, hey, we'll fucking give it a chance. I mean, if there's 5 or 6 of us playing together, that's a lot more enjoyable than you going and solo
That would
queuing.
be really fun because we could
Yeah.
platoon up and get ourselves a what are those things called? The spawners, armored
Spawners.
APB,
It's called the Sunder, yeah.
Sunder. That's it. Get a Sunder and fucking just roll out to wherever.
Yeah, that's the thing also I like about PlanetSide 2 is like you choose whatever you want to do. You could be someone who drives a tank the entire time you play, or you could be someone who flies around in what we call an ESP. And it's just a really cool game, but if you play it right, it's fun. If you don't, it's just a regular old game.
Right on. So I do have a question. This is actually coming from the chat. So Bethesda's going to be at E3 this year. And what do you think they're going to be talking about? My speculation is Fallout.
I think it's either Fallout 4 and somebody, I think it was Tyler, mentioned to me that it may actually be a new Elder Scrolls, which I think would be awesome. I think they're probably already busy enough with ESO.
No,
Fine.
ZeniMax is doing ESO.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, but
Bethesda, I mean, Bethesda is doing ESO, but ZeniMax is taking that horse.
yeah, but
Taking that.
Bethesda still has a huge hand in ESO.
True. So, new Fallout 4.
I'm assuming Fallout 4. I'd like to see it because I think New Vegas was little bit of a letdown from Fallout 3. But I think that's probably just because I played Fallout 3 first and put more time into it and really enjoyed it.
Mm,
But yeah, I think it's definitely going to be a big announcement for them to schedule something like that. They've definitely got news to bring out. You just don't know. It's going to be high impact, that's for sure. It's just not sure what direction it's going to be. It's going to be a disappointment for a lot of people, and then it's going to be a huge surprise for a lot of people too.
right. What I do know is that when we go to QuakeCon this year, we'll have front row seats to whatever Bethesda is doing.
Oh yeah,
And
and anything that we see that you won't be able to see on the internet, we'll definitely relay to you in as great of detail as we can.
like, there's still stuff that we've seen on the new Doom title that has not been released.
I'm amazed that that stuff has not been put on the internet because that was an amazing trailer that we saw. Or actually, it
Yeah,
wasn't even
like
a trailer; it was like
this
half an
fucking
hour of like
gameplay.
live gameplay. Yeah, it looked
Yeah,
great.
like
I'm still
the
excited for that.
dude, it's gonna be awesome. I will just say this, like, if you love Doom in the past, like the past Dooms, this is like a true evolution of Doom into our current standard of video gaming, and they've taken the FPS, the first person shooter, and added a melee system that is actually worth using. It's not the same mechanic over and over again where you're just fucking stabbing a person, swiping them, and oh, they're dead. Like, it's actually like in your face. I just that fucking demon, and
Think about all those scenes from the Doom movie where. No, I'm thinking Resident Evil. Okay, think about all the scenes from the Resident Evil movie where people are just dying in extremely gory fashions. You get to do that over and over, but it's almost like I think we saw at least 15 different unique melee animations.
yeah, and then there's also what are they called, trigger events, where there's like
Yeah,
if you get a enemy down to a certain point, a button thing will pop up on the screen. You click that button, you get to do like a special melee. That was on the bosses, that was on the bigger guys.
yeah, you get to do like a fatality type move, and it's not gonna
Mm.
be like the same standard Gears of War. You down a guy and then you just skull stomp him,
Yeah,
or
and
curb
they've
stomp.
also implemented kicking on top of everything else. So you're not just hitting people with your gun or stabbing them. You also kick the shit out of people.
Get to do all kinds of fun stuff. Yeah, I'm. A lot of people were talking about that might actually be one of the reasons that Bethesda scheduled such a high-profile spot. Which
So,
I wouldn't be disappointed with that, but I still want to see a new Fallout or a new Elder Scrolls ahead of that because we've already seen.
what, like Oblivion 2?
Oh man, bring the Imperial City back. Be right at home.
Yeah.
I've already got a boner just thinking about it.
Well, E3 is not too far off. So was that May when that hits? Right, May, June.
It sounds about right.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm excited.
Yeah,
I
it'll
love watching
definitely
the
be.
E3 conferences.
Yeah, it's always a good time. And
Um,
also, for anybody listening, if you've never been to a convention, I highly suggest that you go. It's a lot of fun.
what is?
Conventions in general.
Oh, God. Like, yeah. Switch
I,
headsets.
I think
Uh,
that was some of the most fun that we've actually had as a group was QuakeCon.
and you didn't even get to have all the fun.
Hey, I had some of the fun. I had small slices.
Small slices. VIP party, what?
Oh, dude. Yeah, I fucked up on that one royally.
And don't say I didn't try to get you to come. I texted you like 16 times and called you.
You did. You
Nope.
tried.
Oh,
Let's
but
see. What we got next? Hideo Kojima from MGS. Apparently, he is, after Phantom Pain comes out, he is essentially done with Konami. I don't even know if I can play this trailer on Twitch. We're gonna find out. Mature audiences only. Yeah, fuck it. If I see tits, I'll turn it off.
Our Twitch page has a age gate.
Okay. Nice. But
We
yeah,
are for mature audiences only, bro.
totally. Yeah, Kojima has been just a total mastermind with the entire Metal Gear series. Like it's been one of the greatest single player adventures that's come out. I don't know, since I've started playing video games. I've loved every single one of them, starting all the way back with MGS1, MGS2.
Well, Metal Gear started out on Nintendo. Like, the Nintendo Entertainment System was the first Metal Gear.
Oh yeah.
I fucking, like, as far as franchises that have, like, weathered the test of time and have really adapted, like, sure, there's Mario and Zelda, but Metal Gear is right along with all that. And I think it's probably, in my opinion, grown better than those other games. It's aged better than those other games.
Yeah, I have yet to see a shitty title out of MGS. Well, okay. I don't count MGS Rising or all the other, like,
Sons of Patriots.
subtitle.
Revengeance.
Well, Guns of the Patriots was awesome. That was MGS4. I loved that game. That was pretty fantastic. The graphics were phenomenal.
The whole game was good. Yeah.
Some parts got slightly monotonous, especially, watching, I think it was a combined, like, 20-something hours of cutscenes, but
That you cannot skip.
yeah, that got pretty ridiculous, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like, you get to a point in the game where you're like, I'm just going to play for like another 10 minutes, and then a cutscene would hit, and you're like,
Yeah, dude.
fuck, how long is this cutscene?
Like, the cutscenes are so good, but they even had, like, reminders. It was like, if you've been staring at the screen for more than 4 hours, you should go walk around.
You're like, what video gamer is going to sit there and be like, yeah, I should probably go do that? And I'm like, fuck that.
No, fucker, I'm playing. Back off. Yeah, I think it was even in every loading screen they told you just go walk around for a little bit. Go look, go out in the sun for a minute. Get some of that vitamin C. We know you haven't been out in a while. We're monitoring your gameplay. We know you've been sitting here pissing in bottles for the past 14 hours.
You got your poop sock next to you?
Yeah, poop sock, man.
Gotta get the poop sock, man. Necessity.
Poop sock is crucial, man. You need that.
It's so fucking weird.
It's not an amenity, it's a necessity.
Right. So, anyway, the news was Hideo Kojima, like, Konami has taken his name out of, like, the production of Metal Gear as far as the next one that's coming out. What is it fucking called? Phantom Pain, yeah. So, like, all evidence that Kojima has been involved in the game has been removed, like, completely. And Kojima, people were thinking that they were taking him off the project at this point, and he came out and said, no, they're not taking me off this project, but this is my last Metal Gear game. And so people are like, okay, well, if this is your last Metal Gear game and Konami's removing you from the production team and all that, then what about Silent Hill and that whole franchise? Because we had, what was it, the demo that hit PT? Was that?
PT for PS4.
Yeah, PT that came out. And that's basically a teaser for the next Silent Hill game, and that was freaky in its own right. So, like, there's a big hubbub about Hideo leaving Konami in general and not completing the Phantom Pain, because Phantom Pain doesn't drop until May or June of this year. And now there's a new article that actually just hit today from IGN where Konami says that they're rebranding all of Metal Gear Solid stuff, and they're just trying to remove Kojima from... I don't know. I don't know why you would take the face of Metal Gear Solid, because that's what Kojima is, and remove him right before Phantom Pain drops.
Yeah, like I don't know if it was done at his request or whatever, but if it's done specifically by Konami, I think it's just a dirty move. I mean, that man built the city that they live in essentially. That's a total metaphor. I know he didn't build, a Japanese city, but he built the house that they live in. I'll say that because
Yeah.
Metal Gear's been, I would say, probably their landmark franchise. Just it's been their biggest seller for a long time, and it's just
As far as
good.
their early, as far as their early IPs, it's the only one that I can think of that's still left.
Yeah, like Metal Gear has just been so much more than a friend. It's almost like a Last of Us type deal. It's like it's just so damn good that it's hard to forget about it.
Hmm.
And that's even going back to, the days of shitty graphics on MGS2 and MGS1.
Right. Well, at least we'll get Phantom Pain, and Kojima's been involved in it from the beginning, pretty much to the end. At this point, they're just bug testing the game and getting it prepped for launch. But after this, 2, 3, 4 years. Well, no shit. Has it been 7 years since the last Metal
Sounds
Gear
about
Solid game came out?
That sounds about right because I remember playing MGS4 in the early days of me getting a PS3.
Yeah, I think
So yeah,
I think it came with my PS3.
so yeah, it's definitely been a while since we've seen one. I hope that Kojima uses it as like a last hurrah type deal and just tries to make his best title ever. I think
He's
somebody mentioned that he was
already
trying
come
to
out
do
and
that.
said He's already come out and said it.
Yeah,
He's
I
already
really hope it ends up that way. I mean, the graphics on it are absolutely phenomenal. They're way better than
insane.
MGS4 was.
Insane.
It's the closest thing you're gonna get to playing a movie.
That and Last of Us, yes.
Yeah, Last of Us, if they had the full 1080 graphics, yeah, it would have been beautiful. Although that game was amazing, you can't take anything away from it.
I cannot wait until they announce a sequel.
Oh, I totally forgot they were bringing Ocelot back. Oh shit.
Mhm.
That's another thing about MGS is there's just like so much character development that's happened over the
Big Brother,
lifespan of the series.
Mama,
Oh yeah,
all like that whole crew. Yeah.
I mean the several different variations of Snake, Liquid Snake. I mean it's just there's so much shit that if you just play one of them, you're missing out on so much.
Mhm.
But yeah, that's one of my favorite franchises of all time, and I'm really looking forward to seeing it come out. And also, I hope that Kojima doesn't completely remove himself from game development. I hope he finds somebody who he's not going to have trouble with, and he can continue to make the great shit that he's made in the past.
He needs to pass the torch to someone that knows what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah,
He's a genius, but there's got to be another one.
hopefully not Ubisoft.
Have you
Probably
guys seen
Ubisoft.
the new Rainbow Six leaked footage?
No,
I
I
don't know if
haven't.
you guys get a chance. Ubisoft took it down, but I did get a chance to actually see it before it did go down. I forget what it's called, Stronghold or something like that. I don't remember the name of it.
It's basically
No
Rainbow
idea.
Six Six, right?
Yeah, basically, and it's
Sixth iteration of it.
yeah, and the game type was basically they were inside of an airplane, and the attackers had to go into the airplane. It was pretty cool how they it almost reminded me of like the zombies type feel. Only obviously you're fighting zombies, and it was much brighter because it's Rainbow Six.
Mhm.
It had a Call of Duty-ish kind of, I don't know how you call it, graphic style. The way people moved seemed very Modern Warfare to me. But when they actually got to the fighting, it did look very, very, it was very reminiscent of the Rainbow Six 3 and Vegas, and just the way the bullets traveled and the impacts and the blood poofs. It's like blood was pretty notorious for Rainbow Six. How the most time knew you got a kill was that poof of blood that would just come off the side of somebody's head or shoulder or whatever when you hit them.
Mhm.
But it looked okay. But of course, Ubisoft, like they said with the Division, that it's early alpha footage, should have never been released, blah blah blah, buy our shit, it's not as bad as it looks. Um,
Not as bad
so
as
I
it
don't know.
looks.
I'm interested. I mean, between that and The Division, Ubisoft has some possible killer titles coming out. You know, fingers
I
crossed.
I like to have faith in Ubisoft because they've done good stuff in the past. But at this point with them, it's becoming kind of the Infinity Ward Activision type deal, where it's like you've gone off the deep end, and I'm waiting for you to come back up.
Well, I think part of the issue is how many Assassin's Creed titles have they released in the past 2 years? Four?
3 or 4 at least. And I don't even know
Okay.
if that's including like all the like mini titles, like the PSP or PS Vita versions and all that stuff. Because I mean, there's
Right.
just been so much. Like Black
It was
Flag was pretty
was
good. I'm not gonna lie,
well,
but
it was Assassin's Creed 4, and then it was Black Flag, and then it was Rogue, and then it was Unity. Rogue
yeah,
released on PS3, right? And then Unity was the PS4 version.
that
But Black Flag
sounds
and Rogue released within it wasn't
couple
two.
months of each other.
Yeah, it was like ridiculous.
Yeah.
And
Well, Black Flag was good. I liked Black Flag. I had a lot of fun playing that game.
yeah,
It's it's an Assassin's Creed. It's gonna get monotonous at certain points, but it's kind of hard to avoid that. You can't keep every single detail. Like you can't turn a game into real life. You have to have it's AI that you're playing against. You can't like you know make a scene out of that movie Gamer with Gerard Butler and have like real people running around and shanking them. As much fun as that would be, no, that's psycho.
we don't condone shanking people.
No, don't shank people. Don't, especially not with like swords and don't don't shoot people with fucking muzzle loaders. I imagine it's very painful.
If you can hit them.
You might get lucky.
Yeah.
They have
So, yeah.
rifling in some of them.
Hopefully they'll get some actual verified and approved footage out for people to see, since you've now piqued my interest and I can't go see it. Well, I said, but it is the internet, so I'm sure somewhere in the depths of the internet where Preston hangs out on the internet,
Yeah,
there's probably a video.
my deep dark dwelling in that back corner of whatever the hell oddball forum there is.
Yeah.
Not 4chan. I stay away from that now. Well, I don't talk to people on 4chan. I just go there.
um, funny thing that we just found out, you can actually now send a bag of dicks to people, a little bag of gummy dicks. So Preston's a huge fan of telling people to eat a bag of dicks.
It's like my
Now he
catchphrase.
Yeah. So now he can actually like get your address and then send you a bag of dicks so you can eat them. And the reviews are out. They taste good. Who would have thought?
Exactly. So it's like an insult, but also a compliment at the same time. It's like, I hate you, but I have these delicious snacks. Don't forget they're shaped like dicks. It's the message I'm trying to send here. Key message, eat a bag of dicks.
Eat a bag of dicks. So yeah, I
Which
think
I
I
don't-
found.
I don't think we can link a picture of that on here, but
We should be able to. I've got the link. You can. Well, yeah, you
No,
can.
I-
No, don't.
no, I'm not putting dicks on Twitch.
Don't. All right. Next notable item: Community remaster of Half-Life 2 was soon to be dropping, or was already dropped. No, soon to be dropping. It's gonna be free, because it is a community mod for Half-Life 2. So basically, they've added the detail that would have been added or has been missing since that game came out, and it's Half-Life 2. So that is the pinnacle of source.
Fanboyism.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems like they've increased like all the character model like tessellation and stuff, so it's like true to today's current standards as far as graphics go. And it seems like they updated a lot of the like lighting and sound and stuff, just kind of a general overhaul of the interface. I think it's a
Yeah.
good idea. I mean, it's one of the highest rated games in the history of games, so it's got that behind it.
Well, I mean, if the community is going to take the time to do a full remaster because the developer won't, we're talking to you, Gaben.
Gaben,
Yeah, I mean that.
Gaming.
Gaben, please.
Praise be to Gaben, not
Praise be
Gavin,
Gaben.
yeah.
Gobbin. me-
Gavin.
Give me a goddamn butterfly knife, you son of a bitch.
We've got issues that run deep in this house. We're not a happy home right now.
Give me a, give me a, I need,
Oh my
I
God.
need a Doppler karambit, you fucking asshole.
I need
I
three
don't know how
of them,
much-
all stat track.
Preferably.
Yeah, I got a car payment.
Yeah,
give
exactly.
me a
Um,
karambit, bro. Hey, it's
next-
Gavin.
It's Gaben. I need a Doppler karambit. Liu Kang has now been confirmed for Mortal Kombat X, MKX.
Didn't
So
need
if you-
confirmation on that one. Man, if they didn't put Liu Kang in there, jeez.
Yeah,
That's it.
well, I think they were just one of those ones they were just like holding off, like waiting for people to be like, "Where in the fuck is Liu Kang? You've announced